Hello everyone, welcome to the class of business environment. Today we are going to start with our first lecture of our subject, that's business environment. So in today's class we are going to learn about the basics. What do you mean by the term business? What do you mean by the term environment, and how these two are related, right? So we are going to understand the basics of business environment and what does it stand for. So when we talk about business environment, you get to know, you come across with two words. First is business, another one is environment. Business means anything that state which keeps you busy. Okay, so it involves all those activities which keeps you busy. And environment means anything that surrounds you. Okay, your surroundings are your environment. So see, and no business can exist in vacuum, right? Anything that surrounds your business is known as business environment, right? You are very well familiar that business is surrounded by n number of factors. So all these elements are called as environment. Some things which you some things which you need to know is like what all things, what are the some particular statements which form a part of your environment. I would like you to notice few points when we talk about the business environment. First one is that each and every business organization operates in its unique environment. What does it mean? It means that no two business organizations have the same environment. No, it doesn't exist that way. It doesn't happen that way. Every business organization has its unique and individual and personal uh, touch to the environment, right? So if same two organizations are dealing in suppose in manufacturing, they won't be having the same environment. Okay, fine, on the macro level they might have the same environment, but on micro level their environment would differ. It will vary from one organization to another organization, right? That another important point which comes after that is environment influences business, and also it gets influenced by it. That means it is a two-way thing. Two-way in the sense, at on the one hand your environment is influencing the business, it is having some kind of impact on the business, but on the other side your business also somehow it influences the environment. So it is to and fro, right? On the one hand environment is influencing your business, and dusri side say your business also influences the environment, it also gives some kind of impact on the environment, right? After that we say that business environment represents all external forces, factors, conditions that exert some degree of impact on the business decisions, strategies and actions taken by the firm. See, actually, some thinkers said that environment means only the external forces or the external elements, right? Like it was said by Gluck and George. But the modern thinkers, they say it is not only that. There are some other remote factors also, like political, technological, geographical, ecological, and your internal environment. When you include those internal factors, then it forms the whole environment for your business. But traditionally, it was considered that only the external forces which are surrounding the business, that would be considered as the environment for your business, right? So, what do we do in this? What do we do? Why do first of all we need to scan the see, they in strategic management also you will get to know this. We try to scan the environment. And when we try to scan the environment, our focus or our purpose is to identify, to appraise, and to respond to the changes which are happening or the impact which the environment is making on your business, right? So basically, your work is it includes identifying, appraising, and then the respond. First you need to spot the you need to identify what kind of changes, then you have to appraise in the sense whether it would have a positive impact or it would have a negative impact on your organization, and then you need to respond accordingly, right? So we do environmental scanning in order to understand the environment. In this, we try to identify, then appraise the environment, and then go. So this business basically it poses two things in front of a business. That environment poses two things. It poses two things in the sense environment will give opportunities. Sorry, it will give opportunities and it will give threats. Opportunities means anything which brings positivity to the business. Threats means the restraints, the restrictions, which has some kind of negativity towards your business, right? So we need to exploit these opportunities and we need to be prepared for the threats. How to overcome with the threats, right? So basically, it is the environment which gives us the opportunities and threats. The model which was given by the Gluck and Jock, it said that it includes basically any business. It includes your suppliers, customers, competitors, creditors, and government, right? Government means the laws or whatever the rules and regulations which are imposed by the government. So they said on a broader level, if you see, basically the environment, major things get covered by all these factors. But here it is not talking about the internal factors and the remote elements of the environment, which generally do affect the business. After that, if we talk about the characteristics of business environment, see, characteristics of business environment, first one is complex. Complex in the sense, we know that it includes n number of elements. There are umpty number of factors which come together and they form the environment, right? So these factors, every factor has its own background. It is diverse. It comes from different source, right? So if you think on a general level, you cannot, it makes it very complex. You cannot study or you cannot understand the environment when it is put together. So you cannot understand it in totality. So to understand the complex nature of the business environment, you have to understand it in parts. In parts means every factor, every element which is forming a part of your environment, that has to be analyzed, that has to be studied individually and independently. And after that, you can make it, you can put it together, and then you can make a complex, you can make a generalized or aggregate analysis of the environment. After that, next is your dynamic. Dynamic in the sense your business environment is dynamic. Dynamic means something which keeps on changing, which is not static, right? It keeps on changing. It is constantly, continuously, it is changing. Your environment never stays stable. It is never static. Whatever the environment your organization is going through today, it would be all, it will be a way different after 2 years, right? So it keeps on changing. That is another characteristic of your business environment. After that, it comes multifaceted. Multifaceted means, see, even the, even the name suggests multifaceted means anything which has more faces, many faces actually. Okay, multifaceted in the sense, multifaceted in the sense that your business or it is analyzed by the observer. So that depends on the perception of the observer. In the sense, everybody has a different viewpoint, everybody has a different perception. If I'm analyzing the environment, I would have a different perception. But if you are doing it, the same environment, everything same factors, same elements, but you might be having a very different perception than mine, right? So the same factors and the same environment is analyzed from different viewpoints and from different perceptions. So that totally depends upon the perception of the observer, the one who is observing it, and how he is taking it. And just take an example of GST. Recently, when GST was enforced, what had happened? Some CA firms took it as an opportunity. Opportunity in the sense now the firm or the demand for the CA firms will increase, because people were not aware how to deal with it and how to prepare their accounts and statements and the ITRs, So they took it as an opportunity that this change which has been put by the government, it will act as an opportunity for the CA firms. On the other hand, the same GST was also taken as a threat by some CA firms because they felt that they have become obsolete. They themselves are not aware, are not familiar with these rules and regulations. So their knowledge, it is all outdated now. They cannot survive. So they faced difficulty and it posed a threat to them, right? So again, it must be clear now that same thing, some people are taking it as a opportunity. On the other hand, the other people are taking it as a threat. So that depends upon the perception of the observer. The next point is that it has far-reaching impact. Far-reaching impact in the sense, the impact which environment makes on the business, it's never short-term. Okay, it's not for the short-term purpose. It is generally for longer term, right? Because whatever impact it is making today, it would have an impact in the coming profitability of the business, in the growth of the business, which will be shown up or which will be showed at the end of 4 years, 5 years. Your growth, your sustainability, everything will depend upon that. If your organization is flourishing, that means the environment is giving a it is very conducive, it is very favorable for your organization. But if an organization was internally very strong, everything was there were no financial constraints, nothing, but still it was not able to sustain, or it was not able to survive, there might be a reason the environment in which it was operating, that wasn't favorable, right? So when we talk about the characteristics of business environment, you have to talk about complexity. It is very complex. Another one is it is dynamic. Dynamic means it is, diverse. It is constantly changing. Multifaceted. Multifaceted in the sense they are same thing is taken by different views. Another one is far-reaching impact. It never has a short-term or the present impact. It will always hold an impact on your future. After that, it comes importance of business environment. Importance of business environment, when we talk about this, we get to know that these two words are very important. There is a close and continuous interaction between a business and its environment. In what sense? In that sense, close and continuous means it is always intertwined and it is never stopping, never ending. Continuously, that interaction has to be there, because we know that business does not exist in vacuum. It has to be a part of its environment. So whatever the things are happening, changes are happening in the environment, that would, even if you don't wish for, but still it would have an impact on your business, right? And the vice versa. The business would also have some impact on the environment, right? So after that, why it is important? It is important. See, when we do the environmental scanning, we get to know the opportunities and threats. That means it will help us in analyzing that what kind of opportunities are waiting for us, for our business, and what kind of threats can be there which we'll have to be prepared for, so that we can cover up with those threats, right? So we get to know the opportunities and threats, or you can say pros and cons, which our business would be facing, right? Then giving directions for growth. Giving directions for growth in the sense, it gives, it tells you, it sets the direction for you. If you're looking for a growth, then which direction to take up, okay? And your sustainability, how you would be able to sustain in that dynamic, in that diverse environment, right? Continuous learning. Continuous learning, we know that it is dynamic environment, it keeps on changing, so we need to be updated, right? we need to go hand in hand with the changes which are happening in the environment. So we should keep our organization updated. We should keep on adopting and making adaptation to the changes which are happening, right? After that, image building. Image building is very important in the sense whatever the image your business wants to build in the minds of the customers, in the minds of the consumers, that is to be done through the business, and that is to be done through the environment. In the sense, through environment, if you get to know that your customers are going more eco-friendly now, right? So what you would try to do, you would try to build a image in the minds of the customers, in their perception, that through advertising, that we are also eco-friendly organization. We focus on eco-friendly procedure, eco-friendly products, right? So that is a through environment you try to build your image. After that, meeting competition, there is no rocket science in that. Of course, if you are well aware of your competitors, their strategies, their policies, how they are dealing with the changes happening in the environment, so it makes you much stronger. It helps you in facing the competition, right? So these are very simple points. They're nothing to memorize. It helps you in facing opportunities and threats. Then it also gives you, it shows you the direction, the path which will lead you towards the sustainability and growth. And you have to continuously keep on learning about that. Then it helps you in building the image of your business. Then it helps you in meeting the competition, right? Now see, the when we talk about the relation between the business and environment, wherever any relation is there, not only about business and environment, even personal our relations are there, there is always a exchange of something, then only relations are built, right? Whether it is a exchange of love, exchange of care, exchange of respect, something has to be there. So where here also in this case, the relationship between the business and the environment, there are three kinds of exchanges which take place. First one is exchange of information. Then we have exchange of resources. And the third one is exchange of influence and power. Let's see each one of them in detail now. Exchange of information. First, before moving on to that, I would like to tell you that there is a difference between the data and the information. In what sense? See, data is something, when data gets converted into commercial purpose, something of commercial use, then it becomes information. Okay. Um, mm, for example, see, tsunami took place. Okay. So if it is just a data for a company that okay, at the South India there is a tsunami took place and tsunami is there, so it is just a data. But if government hires you or gives you a tender or contract for the relief package which is to be sent there, and your business, your company gets that tender or that contract, then it becomes an information for you, right? Because it has become it has got some commercial use for you. So now that data is into information. In the same sense, now BS6, if you are aware of that engine which creates less pollution, government has moved to BS6 engine in the vehicles. For vehicle industry, it is information. Okay, but for sugarcane industry, it is just a data. It is not going to affect them, and they are least interested in this data. So data is of no use, but the information. And how this change in the information happens? Business takes the information from the organization, from the environment, and also it provides the information to the environment. See, in the environment, what do? We do a kind of, in strategic management, there is a technique called PESTEL technique of environmental scanning. Environmental scanning means in which you try to scan the environment, monitor the environment in which your business is existing. So PESTEL here stands for political. You get the political information from the environment, you got the economical, you get the social, technological, legal, ecological. Okay, other than that, you have your demographic, you have geographical, you have your international, so many kinds of competitor information. You get lots of information from the environment, which help you in planning, and it also helps you in covering the uncertainties, how to deal with the uncertainty, the uh, risk which will be part of uncertainty, right? So it helps you in that. So this information which you get from the environment, this helps you in making a stronger plan, or it acts as a base for the roadmap which you want to make for your organization, how to go with it and how to cope up with the uncertainty which you'll be facing. And on the other hand, now your business also gives some information, whether it is to be given voluntarily, inadvertently, or legally. Voluntarily, in the sense, when our product is ready, we try to advertise it. We advertise it to the customers that so and so product is there. It has so these features, these characteristics. It is available at this price. So that kind of information is given from the business to the customers. Customers are nothing but a part of the environment, and some informations are also to be given inadvertently, in the sense those in which you are not even willing to give. Sometimes unwillingly those informations are to be given, and in some informations are to be given because you are bound legally, like you have to publish your books of accounts, you have to furnish your books of accounts, these are to be made public, these are to be, and inadvertently sometimes if a scam happens or some other issue comes up and which is gone to the public already, so you'll be forced, you'll be asked to put up all the information and make all your books of accounts transparent, so that all the information is available to the public and to the dealing authorities, right? So in this way, exchange of information takes place from both the sides. Another one is your resources. When we talk about resources, generally there are 5 M's. Man, material, machinery, methods, and money, right? So these 5 M's are also called as your factor market. So these factors are nothing but your inputs. And what is the procedure? Procedure is input gets processed and it provides you output, right? This is our procedure. So your inputs means your 5 M's. When you process them, it gives you outputs. Outputs, I can also call it as finished goods. Finished goods means anything which is delivered to the customers to fulfill their needs, isn't it? So this is how that finished goods goes, and this is how the business gives it to the customers. Now, what is happening? See, these inputs, these 5 inputs, business is taking from the environment, and then it is processing it, it is converting it into output or finished good, and then again it is giving it to the environment, right? So business is taking it from the environment in the form of inputs and then converting it into outputs or finished goods and giving it back in the environment, right? So this is how this is related. These two are connected. So this interaction process, the other thing, this interaction process, when we talk about this interaction process is also uh, exist. How this interaction process exists? The demand of the products, where it is a whole game of demand and supply. This demand, from where the business get the demand? They get the demand from the customers, that what kind of products they are looking for, and which products have less supply, there is more demand, which products will fulfill their needs, okay, what kind of products they want. So this demand information, it comes from the environment, and they work on it, then they convert it into supply, and they finally provide it to the customers in the environment, right? So this kind of interaction process exists between them. After that, we talk about the influence and power. Now, what is this influence and power? Influence and power means your business has a, it exerts a great level of influence and power on the business. Okay, if it is totally dominated by the government, whatever the rules, regulations, policies are formed by the government, it would have an impact on the business. But on the same in the same level, in the same way, your business can also have some, it can also exert some kind of influence and power on the environment, but that depends. That depends on the nature of business, the size of your business, the reach of your business, and how established or it's been, how old your business has been in that line. Like these really big business houses, Reliance, Adani's, and Bajaj and Birla's, they do exert their power and influence on the environment, right? Because according to them, some things, some rules, some changes take place in the environment. But not every business can exert a influence or power in the environment. But yes, your environment does influence each and every of inclusive, it is command over resources, information, whatever it is. So these kind of, it has a command over resources, it has a command over information. This is how it influences the business. So that's all for today. You can put up your queries now, whatever questions you have from today.